Hey guys, it's Rush, and today we're going to be doing a review of the M41 90mm, the German tier-8 light tank that just got released yesterday actually. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how this tank plays, then I'm going to go into a live gameplay, show you how it plays live, and then basically I'm just going to go over the setup, how you should equip this thing and whatnot, why I choose certain things, and yeah. So to start off, we're on the map Redshire. It's a standard battle. Typically what you're going to want to do in a typical light tank on Redshire is move up to where I'm going right now. What a lot of players will do is they will try to scout on this map, and to be honest, it's not really useful. You can... If you're scouting, you're going to spot what you'd expect to see anyways. Like, it doesn't take a genius to guess that the mouse is going to go to the 0 line. So scouting the 0 line and finding the mouse there isn't useful. So it's a lot better to try to win the important sections of the map. That's what I'm trying to do right now. Unfortunately, you'll notice I took a shot from the M46 Patton, and he immediately took away a third of my hit points, so I have to run away. That's one of the main disadvantages to light tanks, is you've got so little hit points to work with that you really need to be careful about it. So what I'm doing right now is I tried to take a shot at the SP1C. That didn't work out, and I'm being a bit indecisive. I don't really know what I want to do, and I'm looking for an opportunity to find some sort of shots. The cool thing about light tanks is you definitely have the mobility to move around. So what I've done is I've fallen back, and I'm popping up at this ridge. What that's going to do is it's just going to give me shots on anyone who is, let's just look, anyone who's in this area, and then also anyone who's over here. 704 Cross is through the castle, and he actually lights me, so I'm going to need to fall back. But suddenly this M46 Patton starts pushing up. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be playing a flanking role. I'm just going to put harassing fire into this M46 Patton as he tries to kill our teammate here. Unfortunately, he does manage to kill our teammate. I'm just going to keep putting shots into the side of his turret if I can, try to kill a loader or something. That'd be pretty good. And now the M46 is sort of caught in a crossfire, so it was actually very good of me to fall back. I managed to get quite a bit of damage off of him. So right now you can see me brawling with the M46 Patton, and I'm sort of timid here because I don't want to lose my hit points. I'm already at 33% down. I'm a 2-shot for that guy, so it's not worth me becoming a 1-shot to the majority of their team. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use my mobility. I've fallen back a bit. I'm just going to sort of wait. I'm going to give the M46 Patton time to get distracted, and he hasn't spotted me here, so I'm actually unlit. So what that's going to allow me to do is it's just going to allow me to push into him and kill him before he has a time to react. So I put auto aim on, I get the kill, and now what I'm noticing is that they are pushing the 0 line. So they're actually sort of winning that. It's gonna take them some time, but they are winning that. So I really need to start pushing the pressure on this flank so we don't get surrounded. There's an FV215B 183 here, and you can see this 185 pen isn't the greatest. You have trouble penning the weak spots of a lot of tanks. Unfortunately, we start getting shot at by a Centurion 1, so I decide, okay, this isn't safe. I know where they're going to be. They're going to be up on this ridge here, in this sort of area, so I need to get safe from that area and just try to save my hit points. I've now become a 1-shot for quite a few things on their team. So I'm noticing the M41 Bulldog is running away, so I'm going to look for shots on him. Unfortunately, he gets safe, and then the RHM gets lit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this amazing DPM. We've got like a 5.22 second reload with my setup. I'm just going to use it to farm this RHM here. Looks like the second shot I take goes in. Unfortunately, I look away and I forget to hold right click, so my aimer moves, but it doesn't really matter. We're going to look for our third shot on this guy. Managed to put a shot into him, and he gets safe before we manage to complete another shot. Yeah, that misses, but whatever. What I want to do right now is I'm sort of like, okay, they're pushing through our base, right? Like what I'm seeing is right here, the mouse and the M103 are pushing into our last teammate. So I'm going to try to help out that dude, and he's probably going to die, but I don't really want him to die in vain. If I can get shots, I really need to help him out. So what I'm doing is I'm just looking until I can render him, and now I can shoot at the M103, and there's almost no chance he's going to light me. Looking for shots, but a house blocks that, so I'm looking for the E75, and he's actually, he gets safe too. Now the M103 is moving in the open. I take a blind shot because I really don't want our teammate to die, but the M103 is like just out of render, so it doesn't really work. Right now I'm looking for shots on this T-5041. The accuracy on this gun isn't exactly outstanding. It's not horrible either. What I'm just going to do is I'm just going to try to kill him, and you can see my shots are missing. I don't really understand why. Luckily our blind shot does get the kill, so I guess that works out. Right now the M103 is pushing across. We have an IS-3 who's basically scouting for us. I should be the guy scouting, but I'm not going to go die to save that IS-3. It's not worth it. He can fend for himself. He's in an okay position, and he's doing the job of scout just fine. Unfortunately, I've become the support tank, which is okay. I've got some wicked firepower. Take a shot at the M103, and that actually goes short, so it misses. What I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to take a hopeful blind shot. I hope it goes in, and we manage to get the kill. Right now we've got a mouse up here, and immediately I switch to heat. The thing is, with a mouse, you can't even pen his side reliably with heat, so you really need to be careful of that. He's 75 spotted, so I switched to AP because AP is more reliable, and he's safe. So now we're going to go for shots in the Centurion. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sort of control this middle position. It's giving me shots on 3 different enemies, which is really, really good. I have right now what's called map control, and that's going to give me support. Basically, I control the map from here. That's why the middle of the map is more important. I'd rather be playing to win the middle where I can have shots in the entire map than trying to win the 9-0 where it's really secluded and it's a lane and it's just not advantageous to win. Bounce off the side of the E75. Unfortunately, the Centurion's safe, so I go for shots on the 75. The 268 manages to get the kill, but now the 268 is reloading, so the M41 takes advantage of the opportunity to try to kill the 268. Luckily, in my supporting position, I am able to save the 268, basically. He says thank you in chat. I say I got you. And yeah, that's my 4th kill. So right now, the game is basically over. It doesn't matter if I die or not because they've got a mouse and a Centurion. Those guys aren't going to go back and reset, nor are they going to get on base in time to win. So what I'm doing is I'm spotting the mouse, trying to get extra spotting damage. And you can see, it's very unreliable for me to even pen the space armor on the side of the mouse. So I load gold because, in my opinion, I basically outplayed the guy enough to... I deserve to be penning his sides if he's showing it to me, so yeah. There isn't really any weak spot on the side of the mouse that you can aim for, so he just allows you to pen the side semi-reliably. So I've got that loaded, and we're just going to try to pen the side of him. Unfortunately, our shot bounces. It was on the move, so it hit the front of his turret, and the 268 gets the kill. So that's another 500 spotting damage added to my name. Now we're pushing up onto the Centurion 1. So I've started to run out of AP here, but the thing is, when you're shooting at the back of a tank, you really want to be shooting AP. Not because only your credits will suffer, but because it's less reliable. Anyways, that's the game. One thing I really want to highlight to you guys, though, is the fact that light tanks aren't scout tanks anymore. They definitely used to be, but with the way maps have changed, there isn't a lot of scouting you can do. Scouting is more useful in the end game, so what you really need to do is you need to focus on staying alive to the end of the game when you have tanks like a 268 who really do need the help of your mobility and maybe your vision. Scouting in the beginning, you know where everyone's going to go. If you look at the enemy team lineup, it doesn't take a genius to realize that they're going to send their heavy tanks to the 0 line. Like, a lot of this is pretty easy to figure out. So what you want to do in your light tank at the beginning of the game is you want to try to take a key position and live until the end game when scouting actually becomes useful. For example, I was able to spot the mouse and the Centurion 7 and the Centurion 1 for the 268 there. So it's a perfect example of how light tanks should be played. Let's go look at the end plates and then on to a live game. Alrighty, so that was a victory, obviously. 1990 XP, 82,000 credits. In the end, we did 2,479 damage, 4 kills, and 11,000 base XP. So pretty good game in my books. Let's go look at the live gameplay. Alrighty, so we are on the map Swamp. It's a standard battle, and what I like to do on Swamp really depends on the enemy team lineup. It's actually a major theme in light tanks is you really need to be good at reading your team's lineup. What you'll notice is if you don't, is you're just going to get caught out in the open, right? Because yeah, anyways, on this map you can't really scout. There isn't really anything to scout, right? Like most of the tanks go to K2, J2, so they don't have a spotting problem anyways, or at the A0 spot. It's not like you need to scout that. And those are the 2 most important parts of the map. So it's much better to take your gun, because light tanks have firepower, and try to use that firepower to win important sections of the map instead of spotting useless areas. Like, I mean, sure, you could spot the swamp, but it's a useless section of this map, so it doesn't give you anything. So what I'm going to do is, I sort of want to ignore that for now. If he spams one more time, I will. I'm going to pop up to here. I read the lineup before I actually started recording, but what I'm worried about is their 5041 and their Leopard prototype. we have support, though. If our team is aggressive, we will be able to play up here. I'm just worried that if their PTA or 51 come up, 54E1 come up here, I'm just going to get YOLO'd. Like, there's nothing a light tank can do against tier 9 medium tanks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn around like this. I'm just going to spot until I think it's reasonably safe for me to cross. Once I cross, I can put side shots into any heavies up here. And to be honest, I think it's pretty safe. So I'm going to take a risk, right? This is a slight risk, but I've sort of mitigated that. And I'm going to pop up to here. There's an Indian Panzer. Looks like I've been lit, but what you're going to see is I'm just going to be able to put side shots into him very, very easily from this location. Shots into his engine. Maybe I can set him on fire, you know. And one of the coolest things about this spot is, for the most part, you're really already safe. There's an E75 coming up here, and he's going to be really, really open to the TDs back here. So it's actually pretty good. It looks like he's turning his turret, so I can try to get a side shot into him. We'll see. Okay, so RTDs are just destroying them. What I want to do right now is I want to get the kill on this T-32. Less guns shooting back at you is always a good thing. And I think I'm going to focus on the E-75, and then I can start working on the VK. E-75 is a one-shot, so there we go, we get the kill. Now this VK is going to be caught in a crossfire. He has to deal with these heavies here, and myself. You can see he's just focusing me down. I really don't know why our M103 and stuff aren't shooting him. There we go. They finally decide that it's worth shooting at a VK-2801. And we can just put shots into him, to be honest. That Indian Panzer is running, but the Panther or whatever it is running, but this guy's a bigger threat, so I'd rather kill him first. You can see he's just pushed into this crossfire, and that's actually really difficult for him to deal with. So we've just won our flank, and now is sort of the time when scouting becomes useful and practical. What I'm going to do is I'm going to push up to here, and I'm going to spot this Yagged Tiger or whatever it is, and I'm just going to keep him lit, because if he isn't lit, he can just do tons and tons of damage. So let's see if I can kill this guy, because he's the only major threat. Then we're going to keep that Yagged Tiger lit and put side shots into him, because he's got his side to us. Put a shot into this dude. He isn't a threat, really. I can just sort of ignore him, and I can farm the Yagged Tiger for now. I'm going to hug the rock just in case I get clipped. And what I've noticed is we've actually lost the 9-0, like the other side of the map. So what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to kill this Indian Panzer, then I can return to base and start defending that. Hopefully we won't get capped out. Put a shot into him. I actually shouldn't have repaired that because this thing does get ammo racked a lot, but I just want to aim our kill shot there. Get a second low roll. This is actually 250 alpha, so that's a bit unlucky, but whatever. We get the kill. So we're up to 4 kills right now. I'm going to hug the rock. This would really suck if I get RD'd right now. And yeah, once I feel like it's safe, I'm going to start running back to base, because it's going to be really important for us to defend the base, otherwise we're just going to get capped out. So getting on cap right now is an option, but that's boring, and I play this game for fun, so I'd rather have more fun than winning, personally. Play to shoot tanks, not to win. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to pop up with this ST1. He's actually 410 hit points, but he has a lot more armor than me, and if he can just get hull down, he'll be very effective. I'm going to try to use my superior view range and try to spot any light tanks that he might have difficulty spotting. Our ST1 is moving wide, which isn't a bad play, but I'm still pretty worried about the PTA and the 54E1. The 54E1's probably shooting across into the side of our Tiger 2, so that isn't going to end too well, I think. And what I'm going to want to do right now is I'm just going to want to sort of chill. The longer I live, the more likely we are to win. Maybe I can turn this into a Top Gun. Let's get Top Gun. I want to see if I can kill that waffle. There's a T20. He is a 2-shot. I'm going to put side shots into him. That one bounced the side somehow. And the 54E1's exactly where I thought he would be. I'm going to see if I can help this ST1. Maybe I can get a kill on this PTA. Good. 5th kill. And now it's sort of just a matter of not getting clipped out by this 54A1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to proxy slot him on this corner. That's going to give me an idea of if he's trying to YOLO me or not. He already hasn't been lit, which is actually problematic. So I just knocked that tree over. I'm going to fall back just a bit. To be honest, it's very likely the RD's up here and just going to put shots into this KV-13. There's the 54E1. I've been lit. So I'm just going to try to run away from him. I should have the speed. I think he's chasing me, so I'm just going to get safe. Worst case scenario, I'm just going to pop up. Oh, there we go. There's the RD. Okay, so I'm going to load HE to see if I can get the kill. This thing has 320 HE alpha. Shit. Damn it, SD1, I wanted to kill. I need to go deal with the 5041 now, who's the old one. Damn it, damn it, damn it. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to count this guy's shots. Shot 1. Shot 2. Shot 3. I really hope the SD1 lives. And I think the M40 just killed him. So this guy's actually using the stock gun, which isn't good. Damn it. Or he just didn't shoot for some reason. I don't really know. Yeah, I think this guy just didn't shoot. Okay, well, who cares? That's the game. Let's go look at the end plates. Alrighty, so that was 77,000 credits, 2,000 XP on the win. Mastery Badge First Class. In the end, we did 2,233 damage, 5 kills, and we finished top on the team for XP earned. So, yeah. This tank's actually really good. I enjoyed it a lot. As you can see, I still made 50,000 credits. It's a bit more difficult to make credits in this tank than most, because it sees tier 10s consistently. You're never going to find tier 6s to farm, but obviously if you're a situationally aware player, you can definitely make it work. As far as crew skills go, what you're going to want to have is Brothers in Arms all the way down, then you're going to get 6th Sense, Camo all the way down, and then you're going to get a view range skill. So I believe this is situational awareness, whatever it is, you want situational awareness, then you're going to want repairs all the way down with what's it called? Safe stowage on your loader. The reason you want safe stowage is because this thing does get ammo wrapped a lot, and safe stowage helps mitigate that. And then repairs, even though it's a bit counterintuitive on light tanks, you go fast, right? You're going to accidentally track yourself at one point in time, so repairs is going to prevent you from needing to use a repair kit to repair your tracks. And you can save that for something like when you get ammo wrapped or if you lose your gun or something. I highly recommend repairs on light tanks. I think it's very, very useful. After repairs for your force skill, I would just get more view range skills, as well as gun handling skills, like smooth ride, snapshot, and on your loader, if you don't already have safe stowage, get safe stowage. If you don't already have repairs on your loader, get repairs. That's basically it for crews. As far as equipment goes, what you're going to want to have is V-stab, rammer, and vents. The reason I wouldn't suggest running optics is because of the way maps are designed recently is you're not going to... There are very few maps in the game. There's 40 maps, and I'd say only 3 of them is really conducive to spotting games. Now, this tank has 400 meters view range, so Brothers in Arms and crew skills will help increase that, but I feel that you're going to get more benefit from vents on 37 of the maps than you would from optics on 3 of the maps. If it was different, then I would suggest optics, but optics are very situational. They're not useful in a lot of situations. Vents will give you a better reload, and it'll help you permatrack things, which is really important in a tank like this. As far as ammo loadout goes, what I found is that you can actually penetrate the weak spots of a lot of tier 9 heavies with standard round. The main problem comes when you're trying to pen the weak spots of something like an IS-7 or an E100. It doesn't really matter how skilled you are, but you're not going to reliably pen the frontal weak spots of any of these tanks with the standard AP rounds. So I have a huge amount of heat. I've got 19 heat shells. That isn't because I need it. I wouldn't suggest spamming tier 9 heavies full of it. I would suggest using heat only for tier 10 heavies and only if they're showing you their weak spots, because AP or heat just isn't going to pen their frontal plates. It's going to pen their lower plates, and it's going to help you pen the side of an E100's turret. So that's what heat's loaded for. The reason I have so much is because tier 10 tanks have a lot of hit points. But you really don't need heat when you're shooting at tier 9 and lower tanks, so you don't need that. Like, it's good to have a good amount of AP is what I'm trying to say. As far as consumables, first aid kit, repair kit, and I run chocolate because I can afford it. I've got 8.5 million credits. If you're going for credit grinding, though, I'd suggest an automatic fire extinguisher or a fire extinguisher. Whatever you can afford, get the best that you can afford. And that's basically it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see more, be sure to hit the like and the subscribe button. And if you have any questions, definitely feel free to ask me down below in the comments. And yeah, I hope to see you around. Later, guys. Bye-bye.